The hell happened here? Wow. Okay. 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 I don't know what happened just then. My internet connection did not disconnect. For some reason, the live stream just ended. I have no idea what happened. The internet did not connect. My live stream just ended. I don't know what it was. Probably the OSB something. But I apologize for that. Hopefully that does not happen again. Uh, yeah, yeah. I believe, I expect YouTube to censor me. Someone said YouTube censored you. There is going to be people at the research center who watch the videos to make sure guidelines are followed. It's going to be those people who are dog nuts, who are going to do their best to get me off of YouTube. I really bend over backwards to follow the rules here. And hopefully I can stay here online as long as possible. Well, we got messages that said it removed for violation. Here, let me see. Oh, probably here, let me change this. Probably because of that word I use. Wait a minute. Okay, yeah, it's probably because of my title. Here, let me give it a different title. Okay, one moment. Here, let me change the thumbnail. Let me change the thumbnail. They're after me already, people. You start talking about dogs, you're breaking the law when you're talking about dogs, right? All right, bear with me here. Save it now. Hopefully, I'll be in the clear here. I've renamed it Dog Lovers Dysfunction. I'll probably rename it after it uploads. But again, the topic here is how we are attacked, how our way of life, our freedom is threatened. And the same people who threaten it pretend to be the victim. No, we are the victim. We are the victim. And we have to point out every time these people send these dogs out to attack us and try to play the victim. Now, many of you have seen this video. I'm going to play it and then we will go back over it. Now, this is a police officer. Wow. 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 What was that? First of all, now we went over the request by the post office not long ago, where they told people that if you want your mail, you're going to have to put that dog in a totally different room and close and lock that door before you answer the front door. They know this. They know that. How could this woman have not known that these stupid mutts would run out of the door? Now, pay attention to her fake attempt to restrain the mutts. Look at her. And she decides that's a good time to open the door. What the hell is wrong with you, woman? What is this? What is this? What type of stupidity is this, people? How can humans get this dumb? Look at her. Look at, what the hell is that? The dog is right there. Look, look, look. What is this, people? Wait a minute. You know what? You know, seeing that there are crazy people who have comprehension issues, I'm going to go ahead and slow this thing down, right? So we can see in detail the stupidity here. This is madness, people. What was this woman thinking? She either did that on purpose or she is incredibly dumb, dangerously dumb. How could you not know that that dog was about to go outside of that door? Now look, the dog's right in front of her. She puts her hand in front of Mutt's face. What the hell is that supposed to do? Now the dog is totally loose at this moment, people. It's not on a leash. It's jumping up at the door. And she believes that's a good time to, look, what was that? Look, what was that? Look at her hand. Look at that. What type of attempt was that to restrain it? Look at that. Look at that. Woman, what the hell are you doing? Look at her. Just totally brain dead. Completely brain dead. It's like, woman, are you smoking? Look, and after he shot that stupid, worthless, half rat, half pig, stinking mutt, let me change the speed back. After he shoots it, she tries to play stupid. Listen.
Why are you letting your dogs attack me?
She said, I'm not trying to, I'm sorry. Oh my God. People, how does this happen? You're going to have to tell me, how does something like that happen? Looking at the video, it looked like she was not trying to restrain that dog whatsoever. And these mutts really make me sick. As soon as you put a bullet into one of them, they want to start squealing like a rat and run away as if they're being abused. All that mean, nasty barking. As soon as you get a bullet, they start whining and crying. Stupid, worthless mutants. And then she says, I'm not trying to, I'm sorry. People, these people are brain dead. We are dealing with a brain dead population here. Now, as I've explained several times, you have to be dysfunctional in some way to own these things. To play Russian roulette with yourself and your family, you have to be off. Several screws have to be loose, people. That's why you have to arm yourself. You have to protect yourself from these lunatics. I mean, this is stupidity on a different level. Again, she either let them mutts out on purpose or she is dangerously stupid, or both. Many of us, you've seen this one. I mean, what type of madness is this?
A Florida City family is grieving tonight over the loss of their pet. Their dog was shot and killed by a police officer right in front of their home. They say the surveillance video proves it should never have happened. CBS 4's Aurelio Ortega has our story from Florida City.
That's a life on my doorstep right there.
A morning routine ends in devastation for a family when their 2-year-old bully breed mix named Duchess is shot by a Florida City detective.
I was packing up the car. I'd left the passenger door a little bit open because I had another dog that I needed to take to the vet this morning. And as I went back inside to go get him, a police officer came by and saw that the car door was open.
Surveillance camera set up outside the home shows the detective, who happened to be in the area, knocking on the door to let the homeowner know their car door was left open. And when the homeowner's daughter came to the door, Duchess got out.
She was excited. You know, somebody's at her door. She was excited to see who it is. That's it. Normal dog behavior.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait, stop. 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 So you let a pit bull out of the door, knowing that there is a human out there, no leash. And your excuse after they defend themselves from that attack, that was an attack, is that the mutt was excited? You expect that to go over? No, no, that does not sit well at all, in the least bit. She said normal dog behavior. You're telling me you really believe that is normal? There's nothing normal about that. Normal in the sense that it is normal retardation, normal predatory behavior. Yes, in that sense. But does that say the thing was excited? As if that officer should have stood there and allowed that mutt to attack him?
I was about to grab her. I had her and
No, you did not have her. That mutt went out of the door. What are you talking about? And how could they not sympathize with that human at the door? Regardless of your excuse, woman, your mutt got out of the door and went after someone. At that point, you must understand that that human was under attack. Period.
When the homeowner's daughter came to the door, Duchess got out.
she was excited. You know, somebody's at
And they paused it. They paused it. The real footage is
her door.
online
She was
somewhere,
excited to see
people.
who it is. That's it.
And once again, they let that mutt out, and they themselves did not go out of the door after the dog. Where is the person at? Why are they not chasing? They only come out after that stupid, worthless mutt gets shot. What is unacceptable is a creature that attacks people for no reason. Not the person who defends themselves from the attack. I should not have to explain this. This should be common sense. She was excited. People, growing up, I never knew that there were people this dumb in the world. This is madness. I'm 43 years old. You'd think I'd be used to this by now. I'm not. Absolute madness. Absolute madness. These people literally let their dogs attack people as if they get something out of it. They get a kick out of it. So he shot that worthless mutt dead, as he should have, because she released it on him. I don't care what her excuse is. He was under attack at that moment, and he was the victim, not you. But like I said, it should be illegal for them to own it. But if you're going to own it, put that mutt in another room, close and lock that door before you open the front door. You dog owners, you know your dog does that. As soon as somebody knocks at the door, the mutt runs over to the door. You think that's a good time to open the door? What is wrong with these people? That is unbelievable to me. People, that level of stupidity is unbelievable to me. Here's another one. This officer, I believe, is responding to a tripped security system. And just like that, that vicious, evil, violent, worthless mutt is dead. Now, you're talking about creatures that will attack humans for no reason whatsoever. And you're telling me that it is not at least child endangerment to have these things around kids? And yes, yet it's child endangerment to have a weapon in the home somewhere? People, this is madness on a different level. Look at this. Quote, it's a criminal offense for someone to threaten to kill you or threaten to seriously injure you. That's a criminal offense. A mutt barking and charging at you, that is a threat. That is an attack. At that point, if that mutt gets shot, you do not have the right to play the victim. What you need to do is accept that you now have a dead mutt and apologize to the victim for that near-death experience. You need to go try to calm them down and apologize. Offer to pay their medical bills. Offer them compensation for that terrifying experience. The scare alone warrants a very sincere apology at the least. Instead, these people want to play the victim. This is absolute madness.
Okay. Sam, I'm gonna have to hang up. You can hang up with them. Do you have any puncture wounds? I don't know. I couldn't get my
Now, he was already attacked.
You don't see anything?
And those same dogs that attacked him,
I don't either.
they're going to come back.
Hey, go! Get out of here!
You hear that worthless mutt squealing? Disgusting, half rat mutt. Now it wants to squeal, right? It wanted to attack someone else for absolutely no reason. Got what it deserved, now it wants to squeal like a pig. And then you hear this mantra, this narrative of, well, what was done to provoke the dog? We don't know why the dog did it. Usually when dogs attack people, it's for a reason. No, there's never a reason, people. There's never a reason. These mutts will simply attack you, just to attack you. I don't know how many people have seen this disturbing video. It's very disturbing.
Yeah, they are all back home recovering tonight. We did speak to the dog's owner. He says this was all just a huge accident, but as you saw in that video, that accident led to a very dangerous situation and led to one man needing, get this, 40 stitches.
Keith Humphrey showed us one of his pit bull puppies that got loose Thursday morning, but it was the adult dogs that really did damage.
We just moved here, and I secured most of it, and I didn't see the hole over here where the bushes were grown over, and they just went under it.
4 of his dogs got out, 2 adults and 2 younger pups. The older dogs attacking a teenager, biting him on the leg before school. Luckily, it wasn't too serious, but in newly released body camera video, you can see the very dangerous situation the second victim was in. Notice the elderly man on the ground being surrounded and bitten by the dogs.
You okay, sir? Where are your, on the hands and yet on the legs?
He would need 40 stitches when it was all said and done.
I just told the neighbor I'm sorry. I mean, it's an accident. Everything, it could have been somebody else, but I'm just glad the kid's okay.
The body camera video also shows the responding deputy concerned for his own safety. He ends up shooting and killing one of the dogs as they went after him. We've muted that audio due to the graphic nature. Still, the dog's owner wasn't happy about it.
If you were being attacked, dog, your pants would be ripped or something would be ripped, wouldn't it? I mean, he had no bite marks, he had no nothing. So, I mean, that gives him no right to shoot a dog.
Humphrey has 2 of his puppies back tonight. The other dogs are still in the custody of animal control. He tells Fox 13 nothing like this has ever happened before.
It's very surprising. These people around here are normally dog people.
Normally dog people. Normally nasty people. Normally brain damaged, brain dead people. Now this disgusting example or excuse for a human, he said, let me play it again. I don't want to misquote it.
Your pants would be ripped.
Wasn't happy about it.
If you were being attacked, dog, your pants would be ripped or something would be ripped, wouldn't it?
He said if you were being attacked, your pants would be ripped or something would be. You mean like your flesh would be ripped? In other words, you have to wait until the dog is mauling you before you can kill it. That is what he is suggesting. And we've heard this before from other dog nuts. Even though I just read to you the law, at least in Ohio, that you can kill a dog before it actually attacks you. It charges you, it is barking at you, lunging at you, you can kill it. But once again, this man wants to play the victim. His mutts got free because of his irresponsibility, and he wants to play the victim. An elderly man just got mutilated. This old man could have been killed. And like he mentioned, that could have been someone's child. This old man is on the ground being mauled. And his response, oh, I'll just tell him that I'm
These
sorry
stitches when
and
it
it
was all
was
said
an
and done.
accident.
I'll just tell the neighbor I'm sorry. I mean, it's an accident.
Accident? No, no, no. When you knock a cup over on the floor, that's an accident. You knowingly brought predators, violent predators, into the community. That was the first violation. After that, you failed to secure the area and they escaped. You want to describe that as an accident? You are out of your mind. These people are nuts. Listen, we have to arm ourselves in accordance with the law. Learn the laws in your state. Hopefully, your laws are like mine, and that you can shoot a dog that is attacking you, that is charging at you in a menacing fashion, right? Let's briefly go back over that. It says, quote, a dog that is chasing or approaching in a menacing fashion or apparent attitude of attack, that attempts to bite or otherwise endanger, or that kills or injures a person or a dog, that chases, threatens, harasses, injures, or kills livestock, poultry, other domestic animal, or other animal that is the property of another person, except a cat or another dog, can be killed at the time of that chasing, at the time of that threatening, harassment, approaching, attempt, killing, or injury. People, do not listen to this nonsense. Hopefully, this is the law in your state as well. Do not listen to this nonsense about the dog needing to be in the process of mauling you before you can protect yourself. We have to use the laws for our own safety to the fullest extent. Very important that we know the law. Another, and this really made me sick.
He doesn't even want to go in the backyard and use the bathroom.
From inside a bloodied safety car.
Now,
He doesn't.
You see the propaganda.
He doesn't even want to go in the back.
As soon as the video starts, this is a normal face for a little stinking nasty mutt. But in human interpretation, it looks like a sad face. So right away, they're trying to get sympathy for this worthless mutt.
He doesn't even want to go in the backyard and use the bathroom.
From inside a bloodied safety cone with his mouth taped shut, Sirach's eyes reveal his pain.
His jaw is fractured at the joint part.
Sirach and his brother Rocco are Staffordshire Bull Terriers. Both were service dogs to Jennifer LeMay. His brother Rocco are...
Look at that nasty, them nasty mutts sitting with their anus right on the sofa. This is why I say, do not go into the homes of these people. You are sitting on an anus covered sofa. This is disgusting. Never, ever go into the home of a dog owner. This is why.
Staffordshire Bull Terriers. Both were service dogs to Jennifer LeMay's children.
Since she started having seizures, since we had Rocco, he instantly picked up on it. He'll come get us out of our bed at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning.
The beloved dogs were disabled Saturday night at the hands of a Minneapolis police officer after Jennifer's eldest daughter accidentally tripped the home security alarm.
For some reason, the alarm did not disarm. She called me at 8:50. I was on the phone with Xfinity Home Central Monitoring by 8:54. The alarm was deactivated.
Nearly half an hour after the alarm was canceled, surveillance footage captured the officer inside Jennifer's backyard. Watch as Sirach approaches, wags his tail, eager, but he keeps his distance. He even faces away before the officer opens fire.
She overheard the officer.
Did you hear that nonsense. Did you hear that nonsense? Here is a responsible police officer responding to a house alarm, putting his life on the line. And once again, as always, they play the victim. Now, this is the same situation, but it's from the officer's camera. You heard them say that the dog looks away when the officer shot it. Let's take another look at that. Now, did it look like it looked away to you? It looked away right there. You see that? But what does that mean? That means absolutely nothing. The whole time, that mutt is advancing. It's still approaching him. Animals do that. They will plan on attacking a target, and they will look away. They want you to think that they're not going to attack. That's part of how they sneak up to attack you. They try to mislead you. But the whole time, this mutt is approaching that police officer, and when that officer shot it, it was not looking away. It was looking right at him. It was facing him. That's not looking away. So here, this police officer responding to a tripped house alarm, and that, whose fault is that? These people should have taken responsibility for tripping the house alarm and accepted the fact that they have a dead dog and apologize to this man. You know, these type of people deserve or don't deserve police service anymore. You want to ridicule a man who just put his life on the line? Look, if something really happens, don't bother calling us. You're on your own. I don't understand this level. This is criminal behavior, people. The way they literally attack people and try to play the victim, that is like nothing else that I can think of right now. That is the height of insanity. Now here, this mutt, there is a mutt, a loose mutt running around the community attacking people.
I tried to give it water or whatever, but it was, it kind of attacked me almost, like rabid.
Wait. Again, these are the creatures that if we were more like these creatures, the world would be a better place. These are the most loving creatures on earth.
And I'm not someone that's scared easily, and I was scared. So.
What was it? What kind of dog you think?
I actually have a picture of it.
Thank you. Does it bite?
I sold in 72 back in town.
Hey! Back up! Back up! Back!
People, tell me, what did the officer do? How did the officer provoke that attack? They claim that it's always a reason why dogs attack. They never attack for no reason. What was the reason there? Just like all the other situations, there was no reason whatsoever. What other animal in society does this? Out of nowhere, for no reason, will attack you. Just in response to laying eyes on you, they will attack you. These are the most dangerous creatures in society. It should be illegal to own these, for anybody to own these things. But because it is so lucrative, they allow it, and it is our responsibility to respond to this criminal culture by protecting ourselves. Very important. Now here, this man was walking home. People, and also avoid walking if you can. If you insist on walking, make sure you are protected and really make sure you know the area well. Because we should be free and feel safe to walk our communities. But with these things, we cannot. Again, they're like domestic terrorists, these dog owners. They terrorize communities. We cannot sit back silently and allow this to continue.
North Philadelphia street from the attack. What Philadelphia police say they're working on now is trying to identify the dog owners and that one remaining dog they believe was injured but took off after a vicious attack.
So my neighbor hear they screaming very loud, very loud.
Margarita has seen the video but had no idea the man in the center is her son, Ralphie Carrion.
They never recognize my son.
It was early yesterday. Carrion was walking near 6th and Toyota.
Once again, minding his own business, out of nowhere, here comes a mutt trying to attack him. Why don't cats do this? Why don't deer do this? No other animal does this. And it is these animals that are projected as the most loving creatures on earth. It is these animals that they want to allow into hospitals, into schools, into everywhere, on airplanes. It is these same animals that they put on every other commercial, projecting them as loving creatures that you should have in your home. It's unbelievable, people. I mean, I'm really at a loss for words for this badness. These mutants, you cannot show mercy to them. No mercy. Do not trust these dog owners. I don't care what they try to feed you, or it doesn't bite, or it's friendly. We all know better. But virtually every example, there is a dog that attacks for absolutely no reason. Yet, when someone is attacked, they claim that it had to have been provoked in some way. And you never see that on film. Every piece of footage you can find, the victim has done nothing. Attacked for no reason. And the owners of these creatures have the nerve to play the victim. Unbelievable. Let's see, what is this?
It is being called one of the largest payouts involving the shooting of a pet by a police officer. A Maryland jury awards more than $1 million to the owner of a dog tragically shot and killed by an Anne Arundel County police officer more than 2 years ago. WJZ is live. George Solis explains how the jury reached its decision. George?
Good evening, Mary. During the course of a 3-day trial, a jury found that the officer's claims that he was attacked by the dog were false and that the shooting was committed with gross negligence.
This is a Chesapeake Bay retriever named Vern, shot and killed by a rookie Anne Arundel County police officer 2 years ago. The owners were left devastated and demanding answers.
And then he says, I'm really, really sorry. I just had a shooting. And I'm like, you didn't have to.
Police say Officer Rodney Price was investigating a neighborhood burglary off Lombardy Circle in Glen Burnie, when Price alleged the 4.5-year-old Chessie.
How could we possibly award the owner of these worthless mutants over $1 million? This man got over $1 million after his mutt attacked a cop, and that cop had to defend himself. The scary part is that the jury awarded it. The jury was full of dog nuts. These people are a bona fide cult, and they are in every area of society. Important roles these people play. And they give these creatures more freedom and privileges than humans have. Again, as a human, you cannot threaten random people. Dogs can. They can threaten to kill you. Humans cannot. And if you defend yourself, you get, well, the owner will get $1.26 million. This is madness.
Attacked him as he was leaving the family's home. He fired twice.
The officer said that dog attacked him as he was leaving the home.
When Price alleged the 4.5-year-old Chessie attacked him as he was leaving the family's home. He fired twice.
And I mean, you're trained to use pepper spray, mace, a baton. There was so many things I think that could have been avoided.
Listen, you idiot. If that officer said that mutt attacked him, guess who I believe? That officer. Because that is what dogs do. I mean, I've shown a few clips already. That is just the tip of an iceberg. Why would I not believe the officer when we know that that is what dogs do? They attack you for no reason. And they actually awarded the owner of this mutt over $1 million. That is absolute madness. Madness, people.
Video of a couple's dog being shot to death is making the rounds on Facebook, and Cleburne police say one of its officers pulled the trigger.
The department also says the short, edited clip of the dog being killed does not give the full picture of what happened and why the officer fired. Fox Sports' Phil Alvarado is at the Cleburne Police Department right now with the details. Phil.
Well, Steve, Cleburne police are investigating the circumstances that caused one of their officers to shoot and kill a pit bull. This happened a couple of months ago, but the dog owners are coming forward now. It started with a 911 call from next door, someone telling police that several pit bulls were preventing them from leaving their car. It's all on video, and a word of caution, some may find watching this video disturbing.
Listen.
Coco, the brown pit bull, has no sense of what's happened.
You're so sweet.
Why she's still alive and why Maximus was shot by a Cleburne police officer, shown here in body cam video released by police. Quentin Tatum can't explain why his dog was killed.
When he finds my dogs, he walks up, pow, 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 3 times. My dog was looking at him, basically smiling and wagging his tail.
Here we go with that nonsense again.
Tatum's neighbor brought Cleburne police officer Kay Dupree to the 1500 block of Lindsay Lane.
Next door to us, there's a 4 or 5 pit bulls out, and I've got an elderly woman and an infant baby in the car, and these dogs keep coming up to us. We can't even get out of our car.
The officer.
Did you hear that?
Dogs keep coming up to us.
Did you hear that?
We can't even get out of our woman and
4 to 5 pit bulls loose outside, and they can't even get out of the car. So this idiot who tried to act like some type of victim needs to explain why his mutts were roaming the community off leash, terrorizing people. But no, he wants to pretend that he is a victim. Now, what's really funny is that on this video, they found that it was inconclusive, because right here, the dog sort of leaves the view of the camera.
Was shot by a Cleburne police officer, shown here in body cam video released by police.
Now, at that moment, the police officer said that he made that sound to try to calm the dog down. He said that when he shot the dog because it was approaching him, showing its teeth, growling. And you know what? I believe the police officer. And hopefully nothing happened to him. This rhetoric that police officers should be trained to use pepper spray and all of this nonsense, that itself should be illegal. But to give an excuse like that after you just basically attacked someone or allowed someone to be attacked because your own irresponsibility, that's criminal behavior. There's no way to spin that. It's criminal. And we have to start calling this out. The more cases that surface that get ignored, the worse off we are. Right? They're going to get more and more comfortable. Now, like I talked about the other day, the more you walk, the greater chance you have of being attacked. Why are postal service workers attacked more than the average person? It's because they walk around the community more. You should be free and safe to walk the community. But when these dog owners live in the community, you are at a high risk of being attacked. That is domestic terrorism. There is no way to spin that, people. You can't hide it behind anything else. It's domestic terrorism. And these people, on a regular basis, leave these dogs unsecured. They always find a way to break free. It is madness.
8 on Your Side is following developments about a St. Petersburg woman attacked by a dog. Police say the dog also charged at them and they were forced to kill the animal. Today, the woman's husband says that she remains in the hospital. And 8 on Your Side, Pinellas County Bureau reporter Christine McClarty joins us live from where that attack happened on Friday. It must be very serious if she's still hospitalized today, Christine.
Yeah, it is. He said she's not doing great. He says he hasn't slept or eaten in 3 days since his 67-year-old wife was attacked just in this alleyway. He says she's now dealing with staples in her head and stitches on her leg, and he wants justice.
She was going to bleed to death in a matter of moments.
Joni's husband, who doesn't want his name published, describes the love of his life as smart and bubbly.
Friday was the first day she felt good enough to go walking.
Recovering from eye surgery Monday, she went for her first walk in a while. He says she asked the dog's owner, Craig Barr, if she was safe to walk by the unleashed dog, but Barr was unconscious.
She turned around and the dog attacked her and got her in the left leg and took her on the ground and bit her in the head and then bit her in the back.
He says now there's 16 stitches in her left leg and 5 staples in her head. St. Pete police say then the dog bit an officer. They say Barr finally put the dog on a choke chain, but when he broke free from it to lunge at another officer, the dog was shot and killed.
I don't know about that.
I didn't see that. My dog didn't bite anybody.
Wow. Let's stop right there, people. Wow. Wow. Wait. Let's run that back. Let's run that back. That mutt attacked a woman, then a police officer. And what did the owner say?
Another officer, the dog was shot and killed.
I don't know about that. I didn't see that. My dog didn't bite anybody.
Wow. People. People. These dog owners have mental problems. Mental problems. After this mutt attacked 2 people, right? You have one of the witnesses and victims, a police officer. And he says he don't know about that. This guy was unconscious. He was asleep and had his dog off leash. And this woman came by in a wheelchair, tried to ask him if it was okay for her to pass. And he was asleep. So she turned around. And when she turned around, the dog attacked her. When you show dogs that you don't want to harm them, they attack. That is what provokes them, right? That provokes the attack. You showing that you are not a threat is what makes them want to attack you. How could it not be child endangerment to have these things in our community? Forget about in the home. Forget about the home. In the community, period. I don't care if you personally don't have kids. If there are kids in the community, you should not be allowed to own something like this. And the lack of regulation for owners, you should be able to screen the mental state of people like this and tell them you are not mentally stable enough to own a dog. They don't even have that. Now, I'm against dog ownership, period. But these people don't even have a vetting process to prevent sociopaths, psychopaths like this man from owning deadly creatures. People, this is madness. This is Twilight Zone stuff.
Dog was shot and killed.
I don't know about that. I didn't see that. My dog didn't bite anybody.
8 on Your Side spoke with Bar Friday, who says his 5-year-old American Bulldog, Kona, is innocent.
The dog was a lovable dog.
Pinellas County Animal Services sent us is innocent.
The dog was a lovable dog.
Dog was a lovable dog to who? Once again, as I said before, these people think that because the dog does not personally attack them, that it won't attack anyone. How can it not be illegal for these types of people at the very least to own these dogs? Unbelievable. He should not even be free right now. He should have been arrested for having attacked 2 different people. An old woman, disabled woman, and a police officer who have the evidence of being attacked. And he got the nerve to sit there and deny it, to call them liars. They're sitting there with injuries, with holes in their body. And he sits there and calls them a liar. I feel very irresponsible for not keeping up with things like this, because this needs to be called out as soon as it happens. These people should not go even an hour after publishing nonsense like this without dealing with backlash. Right? So if you hear about anything, recent stories please feel free to share them with me. I'm going to do my best to call out this sickness. This is sickness, people. This is criminal behavior. These are domestic terrorists. There is no way to spin that. No way to spin that. And these people should be locked up somewhere. We're dealing with absolute criminals here. Look, I'm tired of people silently accepting being victims. And while the perpetrators who really threaten our way of life and freedom, they are pretending to be the victims. No, that has to stop. Do not be afraid of coming across as a dog hater. No, stand up and tell them you are a dog hater. I recently purchased one of my I Hate Dogs face masks. You better believe I go out in public with it. Proudly. Proudly. Now look at this young boy, once again minding his business, and he is currently being attacked by a worthless mutt. The mutt is biting him right now. Look at these people just standing around like idiots. Look at it. Why is that dog attacking that boy? Why? Why is the presence of creatures like this considered acceptable? Why is it not our culture to shoot creatures like this on sight? Yet they want to make it legal to shoot deer for fun. It's okay to shoot a cougar that gets into the community. But we cannot shoot the most violent creatures. People, if we were in our right minds, we would never see dogs. Almost never see dogs. And the dogs that we did see, they would be shot on sight. On sight. This mutt is locked down on a child. And these idiots have nothing but sticks. This is a pit bull. Again, the question is, what was that mutt doing there in the first place? When you see a dog, the presence of a dog is a threat. Your freedom, your children are now in danger. Your well-being, your life, your children's life is in danger. You're on the clock. This is madness, people. And we have to start calling it out. We have to bring attention to this. Like I said, eventually there's going to come YouTubers who are going to go viral. Our message will get out here.
We're talking about two big dogs involved in this attack that somehow made it through this fence, got out here onto the sidewalk where that little girl was riding her bike.
Anybody who watches that video, it kind of turns your stomach to think of what this poor 9-year-old is going through.
This is the view from one of the neighbors' front yards. A little girl riding her bike when she encounters two dogs who had already bitten and scratched through the fence and are about to bite and scratch through her.
She was just absolutely terrified. I mean, that's something I'm going to remember for the rest of my life.
That's Chris Grecius, who owns the cameras and came running to help the little girl as soon as he heard her scream.
It was the scream of just sheer terror. It wasn't your I skinned my knee, I'm hurt, come help me. It was life-threatening, I'm screaming because I'm going to die type scream.
It's really hard to hold your kid when they're crying like that. And it's really, it makes you feel guilty.
The girl's mother still can't bring herself to watch the video or to speak to the man and woman who own the dogs.
Perhaps their animal that is happy and sweet around their family might not be towards other kids.
The owners were pretty upset.
Did you hear what she said? Hey, let me rewind that.
Might not be towards other kids around their family. Perhaps their animal that is happy and sweet around their family might not be towards other kids.
That is the case with all of these mutts. And that is what these dog owners refuse to acknowledge, that they themselves feed the thing. Of course, it's not going to attack you. To assume that it's now safe to let that mutt roam free and that it won't attack anyone, that is insanity. Total insanity. This is why ownership should be illegal. You cannot regulate stupidity. Anybody can be a complete idiot. So to prevent people like this from owning dogs, you make them illegal for anyone to own.
They're pretty upset about it. Not that their dogs have been taken, but that the attack had happened.
The Utah County Sheriff's Office cited the dog's owners because the fence obviously wasn't enough to stop the attack. The owners didn't want to go on camera, but they told Fox 13 they feel horrible about what happened and hope to get their dogs back from a local shelter once 10 days have passed.
Wow. They hope to get the dogs back, and they did not want to appear on camera. Why not? Because they don't want to be ridiculed by the dog love cult. Why wouldn't you want to get on camera? And why would you want those dogs back? These people are domestic terrorists. Even after this thing attacked a 9-year-old girl who was riding her bike, these people can't think of anything other than getting those same dogs back in their possession. These people are a menace to society. Again, there's no way to spin that. They want to play the victim nonstop, and they don't care how many people, how many elderly people, how many kids get hurt, police officers, whatever. They're going to view it, they're going to insist that this was just an accident. Even though we're talking about millions of people each year bitten by these worthless mutts. Many of you I know have seen this footage.
This woman was just minding her own business when a pack of
say it again for us. Say it again for the people in the back.
Her own business, woman was just minding her own business.
What?
Woman was just minding her own business when a pack of wild dogs went on the attack. One dog, 2, 3, then 4 dogs swoop in on
Listen
her.
to this.
A surveillance camera caught the entire attack. You can see the pack of mixed pit bulls viciously tugging at the woman's clothes and dragging her to the ground. They won't let go.
Is a confirmed bite? It was attacking the female. We do have EMS responders.
The woman, who is in her 60s, screams for her life. A quick-thinking neighbor hears the commotion and comes running out, shooing the dogs away. Then she bravely grabs the injured lady's purse and swings it to scare the pack away. Veterinarian Dr. Jeff Werber.
They looked like they were running the streets, probably very hungry. She had a bag, had a purse, and I'm sure they've learned that often what's in a bag is food. And that's how it possibly started. And if you notice, as soon as he started, the others came in, and that was pure what we call pack mentality. A bag.
Away. Veterinarian Dr. Jeff.
Listen to this sick piece of shit. This disgusting excuse for a human being. Listen to what he said.
They looked like they were running the streets, probably very hungry. She had a bag.
So immediately he starts defending them. They were probably very hungry. She had a bag. He explains it as if it's something that we should understand, right? We should be understanding. They were probably hungry and she had a bag. What a complete idiot. What makes this even worse is that the mutts never went for her bag. How could we let people get away with nonsense like this when we have footage that proves the nonsense?
That often what's in a bag is food. and that's
Look
how
at that fake,
is food.
devious lion
Often what's in
smile.
a bag is food,
You
and that's
disgusting
how it
piece
possibly.
of,
And I'm sure they've learned that often what's in a bag is food.
you disgusting slime ball. Veterinarian. You sick piece of trash. To try to defend these mutts after they attacked an elderly woman for no reason. People, we would not accept this from Antifa, from Black Lives Matter, from any other group, the Boogaloo Boys, whoever. If they go around attacking elderly people, we don't take up for them. We don't speak in their defense. We don't make excuses for them. We only do it with dogs. This is madness. Dogs do what we don't. We don't have groups that just go out and randomly attack people and kids, where kids are more than 50% of the victims. And what do? Make excuses, defend the attackers. Absolute madness. We cannot allow this type of insanity to exist, people. We can't allow this to exist. Now, I don't know how many people, this is very, very disturbing footage here.
The big story on Action News this noon is a Philadelphia family in mourning after a young child was mauled by pit bulls.
Police were called to the Port Richmond home yesterday evening, but they could not save that little 2-year-old boy.
Action News reporter Catherine Scott talked with family members this morning and joins us now live from the scene with more. Catherine.
Sarah and Alicia, this was horrific. The neighbors here are deeply affected about what they witnessed here yesterday. We've been speaking with neighbors this morning, and they said that they've heard barking coming from the home in the past, but they never witnessed any violent behavior from those dogs until now.
Everyone was like, no, there's dogs in there. They're attacking the baby.
Neighbors described the panic and chaos in Port Richmond last evening. Dogs attacking a 2-year-old boy inside this row home on Agate Street around 5:15 p.m. One neighbor explains his wife heard screams and then saw a woman running from the home.
She came out, her arm was bloody, was gushing blood. So my wife grabbed a few towels to try helping.
She also called for other neighbors who tried to rescue the boy, but there was little they could do.
And all of a sudden I just seen dogs, plucking at the baby and the aunt.
Wait a minute.
Little they could do. Tried to rescue
Isn't
the
that,
boy, but there was little they could.
Isn't that same sad face that they try to project and insist that the dog is sad? This mutt just killed a 2-year-old boy. And it has the same sad face. They try to run this con game on people. It's like a process of brainwashing. They put an ASPCA ad in front of you, and they will have this exact expression right here. And they insist that it looks like that because it's sad. This infuriates me, people. I mean, to no end. It infuriates me. Let's continue. I almost forgot what they said about this thing.
And all of a sudden I just seen dogs, plucking at the baby and the aunt. And then all of a sudden they kept telling me to go in and get the baby, but you can't because they're surrounded by all these dogs.
Officers approached the home, guns drawn. When they looked inside, the boy was on the living room floor being attacked by 2 dogs. There were 3 more dogs in the home. Officers opened fire, killing 2 dogs and injuring another.
And can you believe that dog lovers in droves after a situation like this will be online insisting that the boy must have done something to the dogs? All the footage we've just seen. When things like this happen, these sick people get online and insist that the dogs were provoked in some way. They get online and defend the dog. This is absolute criminal behavior. Again, there's no way to spin this. Look at this idiot here. Look, these people are out of their mind, people. These are very sick people we're dealing with. These pit bull owners and all this
15
crap.
years to life behind bars. That's the sentence for a man convicted in the death of an Antelope Valley woman killed by his dogs. KCAL 9's Adriana Weingold was in court today and has more from Lancaster.
The sadness thing hits constantly.
Ben Devitt fought back tears as he spoke about his wife of 43 years, Pamela. She was mauled to death by 4 pit bulls last May. The owner of those dogs, Alex Jackson, will now spend 15 years to life in prison for second-degree murder.
He was reckless. He was irresponsible with his dogs. The dogs were terrorizing the neighborhood. He has a history, and now his life has been set for him.
Judge Lisa Chung
listened to... let me stop here.
And now his life is terrorizing the neighborhood. He has a history. And
I want to address this briefly. Where they talk about the history of the dogs. Because you know how they say that if the dog does not have a violent history, then there's no reason not to trust it. And again, I want to emphasize, yes, there is. We should not trust any dog. We are humans. There is no possible way for us to understand the mentality of these things. We don't think like these things. So because of our inability to gauge their mentality, knowing that they are lethal, they should be illegal to own. There is no way to spin this. There is no one in this country who should be authorized to own these things. And here it is, we allow anyone walking the planet to own them. No vetting process, no screening. You know how before you get a driver's license, you have to take a test. You get no type of test whatsoever. Anybody can own these lethal killers. And these killers have a mind of their own. You don't have to pull the trigger. They are in control of the trigger. You're telling me it's legal to not only own these things, but to bring them inside of a home where children live. Now, I don't know how many people have given this any thought, but these people, they try to force dogs to be something that they are not. They try to force dogs to be human, to be kids. Right? Dog mom, dog dad, fur babies. They refuse to act in accordance with reality. And that justifies these people being held accountable for owning them. They're not babies. They're not human. And you cannot deal with creatures like this as if they are human. That should be illegal. They don't respect what dogs actually are. Predators. Violent predators at that. Because again, cats are predators. Cats act nothing like this. They do not respect what dogs are. Instead, they seek to treat dogs as if those dogs are not dogs. As if they're just harmless little kids. Oh, let them inside the classroom with kids. Let them inside the hospital. Let them on the airplane. of all animals on earth, they want to give the most violent animals the most freedom. And this is, it's criminal behavior. It's beyond criminal behavior, people. This doesn't even seem real. It seems like a bad dream or a horror movie. Now, let's deal with the nature of dogs. I want to say animals, but dogs are not even like real animals. Let's deal with their nature that we know of, that's undeniable. We know about this predatory instinct where they will chase and attack something that moves. Now, in the wild, they would be on high alert and they would react aggressively to the slightest movement or sounds, right? In their mind, it could be a threat. But because we take them out of their natural environment and bring them into an unnatural environment, now instead of reacting to another animal who makes the slightest movement or sound, they react to us, to our kids. Now, when our kids stand up, the dog attacks. This is the result of bringing these creatures into an unnatural environment. Once you bring them into our environment, you now put us in danger. The hostility that they would have towards other animals will now be redirected towards us. That is very irresponsible. That is very dangerous, reckless. In the wild, they would chase moving creatures. But because they are not in the wild, they now chase our children. They now chase us. So what do you have? Attacks that are the result of dogs being in our environment. This is why I say they should be illegal to own. We should not even allow them into our society. Just being in our community is a safety hazard. They always break free. We saw these mutts in this video. They will get through the smallest hole. It will dig holes under the ground. They are very eager and desperate to find somebody to attack. Again, these are the closest things to demons, to little devils on earth possible. You can't define a demon or devil better than the behavior of these mutants. They go out of their way to attack someone. In the wild, an unrelated creature who eats from the same food source would be attacked, right? You have a pack of dogs, they have a kill. They're not going to allow some other animal to come up and feed on their kill. But because they are not in the wild, because we've brought them into a foreign environment, now that unrelated creature who is eating from the same food source is now our babies, now our children, right? The dogs know that you provide food for it. and it then finds out that you provide food for your kids as well, for your babies as well. Based on animal nature, now that is competition for food. So you create these hazardous, deadly attacks by simply bringing them into our society. So we have to be clear that it is a con game when they try to talk about what provoked the dog, responsibility, leashes, or you have to train the dog, so on and so forth. No. The only thing that matters is the fact that they are not in their natural environment. I don't care if they're mutated or not. I don't care if they are not as adapted to the wild as their ancestors, as wolves. They are not adapted to human territory. That's another thing. They brag about how long humans and dogs have been interacting. Yet dogs still act like this to humans. They speak as if we've made some type of progress after all these thousands of years in our relationship with these things. Yet still to this day, they attack humans more than any other animal, and this is by far. We talk about this anxiety that dogs deal with, always acting crazy. That anxiety might be caused by existing in an unnatural environment. So bringing them into our societies is a recipe for disaster. They're not only going to redirect their predatory behavior on humans now, they're going to be more likely to do so because everything is unnatural now. And these people are trying to make the dogs fill in the shoes of a child or a lover. And they end up getting innocent people hurt and killed as a result. So this is a serious enough topic for me to continue it on another live stream, because this is the basic fundamental problem that we face with this dog cult. Is people being attacked and then the victims being projected as the victimizers. The people who've protected themselves from an attack being projected as the bad guy. No apology, nothing. They simply blame you for being forced to kill their dog after their dog attacked you. So there is an endless amount of footage. The videos on this PowerPoint, I'm telling you, it only took me about 15 minutes to compile this. I hadn't even got started. There is just an endless amount of footage available. And the new cases emerge faster than I can keep up with. Now, these are just situations that's caught on camera. Can you imagine how many are not caught on camera? Can you imagine how many attacks are not even reported? Like with this situation, that mutt attacked this dumb woman, and these people got up and left, the first thing they thought about was the dog being put down, being taken into custody. And they did not want that to happen. Look at her. Then she leans her face into, she got exactly what she deserved. Exactly what she deserved. And look at the dog. No guilt, no feeling of guilt whatsoever. Creatures like that cannot love, right? I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but I feel very much irresponsible. I feel bad that so many cases have gone by and I have not pointed them out. But this is definitely something to stand up for. I am driven to deal with this and call it out. And there has to be a growing number of people who do the same. We have to make more noise than we currently are. This is absolute madness. So I'm going to try my best to put together more footage within the next few days. I will give an alert before the next live stream. This is very disturbing for me. It's very difficult to have to deal with this madness. And again, I apologize. I have not been able to keep up with the chat room here. But like I said, the next live stream will be much longer. I want to thank everyone who joined this live stream. I did not expect as many people to join that did. It's now 4:30 a.m. where I am. And I have a 15-year-old in here. Yes, it's like I said, that's very important for the kids to see videos, because you know the kids, they see this stuff. They know that dogs are dangerous, but they feel pressure not to say anything, not to call it out. They feel scared all the time. I've shared with you. I'm gonna show those videos on the next PowerPoint. The kids have uploaded videos on YouTube, and some of them are whispering, saying that they hate dogs, that dogs scare them. They know that these things are dangerous, but they are under pressure from the adult dog nuts to keep quiet. So any kids in this room, you should let your parents know exactly what you think and that you are in fear for your safety. Because if there is a dog that lives in your home, you are in danger. Do not listen to this nonsense about it loves you, about the dog being family, a family member. That is not only a predator, a retarded predator. It's retarded. It is more unstable than any other predator on this planet. So again, I want to thank everyone who joined this live stream. I will give out a proper alert before the next live stream. Please learn your laws and please become a registered gun owner. Carry your weapon everywhere you go. Get a license to conceal, to keep it in your vehicle. It is unfortunate that we have to do this, but in response to this basically legalized terrorism, people, we have to respond accordingly. And we will continue with this crusade against these worthless mutants and they're sick enabling owners.